Welcome back. The average professional basketball player makes nearly $25 million over his 4.8-year career. The average professional football player makes close to $7 million over his 3.5-year career. Huge numbers, right? But then there's this. According to 2009 Sports Illustrated study, 2 years after retiring, more than 75% of NFL players are bankrupt or in financial stress. 75%. This is a trend my next guests are working to break. Former NFL star Plaxico Burress has teamed up with veteran trader and penny stock investor Tim Sykes, and they are both joining us right now. Good to see you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. I guess first I want to ask you, Plaxico, why it is that all of these people go bankrupt 2 years after. Is it just that, I mean, what is the mistake that so many athletes make?
I mean, I would say that, a player like myself, I was only in college for 2 years, so you really didn't get any education growing up, and then once you get to playing professional football, like you really had no financial education of how to manage your money or how to invest it properly without people taking advantage of you. What
do you think, Tim? That's a great point.
Yeah, I think athletes need to be given more of a shot. They have the work ethic, they know about adrenaline, they know about competition. They've been made to be great financial, traders and investors, but they need to be given a chance and they need to be educated.
What are the big mistakes that athletes make? Is it that they're spending their earnings on just stuff and they're not saving, they're not investing? What is it?
It's coming in so fast and it's coming in so much in bulk at a time, so you think it's going to last forever. You don't, prepare for, being 37, 38, going into retirement, and, your bills are still coming in and all these things. And now you look at, your savings and what you have, and you realize that, I still have a whole life to live, so what do I do now?
Have you started saving for retirement? Do you have a retirement account?
Of course, every player does, but if they choose to spend it while they're playing, when they finish playing, they have nothing. So now I'm looking at my situation. I still have a life to live outside of football after playing 13 years professionally. So how do I, prepare myself for the future, and so I can keep living a normal lifestyle?
So Tim, this is not just about investing. This is about educating.
Yeah, 100%. It's not about other people managing their money. The athletes should take control. They've spent their entire lives in control of their body, working out, being the best competitor on the field and on the court. Why not take that same kind of work ethic and transfer it to your own personal finances? I don't want to manage other people's money, but I want to teach them to learn so that they can learn to manage their own.
Teach us. What are the most important lessons that we all need to understand, athletes included? I mean, we're all in the same boat here.
Well, rule number one, you don't put all your eggs in one basket. There's so many different investments out there. They sound amazing. Any investment can go badly. So I've had big losses. Plaxico has had big losses. We've learned from that. So you learn from the big losses. Now what I like to do is stick to liquid stocks that I can get out of very easily. Cut losses quickly. That way I never risk disaster.
What about the trading story? I mean, today, all those liquid stocks, you got the market down 200 points because companies like those liquid companies, the Boeings of the world, the McDonald's of the world, are having a hard time because the dollar keeps soaring. How do you work in things like that?
I'm not interested in Boeing and McDonald's and and all these huge companies. For me, I think what I'm doing with Tim and what he's educating me on is it's a methodical, effective, a successful way to gain capital over time. Like, this is a long-term deal for me. This is not short time. So I want to get educated on how to make capital in a methodical fashion.
I'm so glad you said that, because I also am a long-term investor, and I don't really care about the short-term moves. So that would have been, I'm pushing back on this, but I totally agree with you. It doesn't matter that the market's down 200 points today. That's not what you want to look at. You want to look at the next 10, 20, 30 years, because like you said, you have a life after football. Let me ask you this, because it's the news of the day. Free agency begins today at 4 p.m. Eastern time. On Friday, I spoke exclusively with New England Patriots owner Bob Kraft about it. Listen to what he said.
It goes both ways. Everyone's after your talent to weaken you.
That's true, yeah.
But there are, in some cases, some of the more veteran players who have gotten paid a lot of money want to come into an environment where they feel they have a good chance of winning. We, as you mentioned, in our 21 years, we've had the privilege of going to 10 conference championships almost every other year, which is the game before the Super Bowl. So, and remember, you get pretty good bonuses when you get into the playoffs. So the players who want their legacy and want to try to achieve going to Super Bowls, they might take a little less.
Do players look forward to free agency day? Is this a positive? I mean, you're out there.
This is a new league that we're in. With this new CBA and all the new rules that they have in this league. I got drafted 15 years ago, and now guys are turning 30 and 31, and all of a sudden they can't play football anymore.
Oh my God.
Which is a shame, because you still have a lot of veteran football players who are great players who can go out and perform, but they're not given the opportunity that they were once given years ago.
Yeah, because of their age.
And
how crazy is that?
You still have a lot of great players over 30 who can perform and do great, but it's a new league. Young, 22, 23, fast, little. So the league is changing.
Have your colleagues responded to your help in terms of money management?
What team?
Your colleagues in the industry.
Definitely. I've had a few friends of mine and current players and former players who have reached out to me because of Tim and I's connection. So I think the sky's the limit.
We got to jump. Plaxico, Tim, good to see you on the show today. Thank you so much. Best of luck. We will be watching. Next hour on Opening Bell, we are minutes away from the JOLT survey for January, expected to show an increase in unfilled jobs. We'll have that with Tom Perez, U.S. Labor Secretary. Stay with us.
My name is Tim Sykes, and I teach people to trade stocks. I am a self-made multimillionaire.
So this is the ideal trade that I'm going to talk about. I want you guys to understand every single aspect of this trade.